Greetings, everybody. Greetings. I'm sad this morning, but as you see me wearing white, basically black and white, mainly white, I'm in solidarity with our nurses this morning who will be protesting a very unfortunate occurrence that took place sometime last week involving one of our nurses and a 65-year-old businessman. The man was in the road and the nurse wanted to get by, so the nurse talked to him, talked to him about, her wanting to get by on the road. And he, in turn, came over to the nurse, spat in her face, I was told, dragged her out of her vehicle, body slammed her on the ground, and stepped on her, basically walked in her face, walked in the nurse's face. That's what the man done. I've heard somebody said something about gentlemen. We don't call people like these gentlemen. People who are ugly to people in society, abusing people, especially our nurses. And even though I'm saying our nurses are who we depend on a daily basis for protection, for care in our hospitals. Because before we see our doctors, we see our nurses. Our nurses are always basically available to us to administer care to us. And when we see a man like this who should be setting an example for society, for our boys, for our girls, and fellow gentlemen who should be setting an example, what we see, this man has done something that is very alarming, something that is worth condemning. The entire society is to condemn. The entire society is to condemn this brutal act. Whether it is our nurses, whether it is our doctors, whether it is our teachers, and the entire society ought to come out in chorus and to condemn this very vicious act of abuse on our nurse. Yeah. So whether you are police, whether you are soldiers, whether you are teachers, whether you are lawyers, whether you are doctors, or just a common Jamaican, I want you all to come out in solidarity with our nurses this morning in protest. If you cannot be on the exact site somewhere in the corporate area where the nurses will be gathering for the protest, I'm asking you to wear something white this morning, go to work. Wear something white on our streets in solidarity with our nurse that was abused, our nurse colleagues who will be protesting this morning. I'm asking my fellow Jamaicans to wear something white. It is time we condemned violence against our children, violence against our women, violence against our men, violence against the entire society, the entire population. We are condemning violence against them. This act, we don't have to question what type of person this man is. I wouldn't call him a gentleman. Somebody made the mistake to say gentleman the other day. I would not call this man a gentleman. I would call him a hooligan. He's ugly. He's abusive. And he ought to be called out. And I was told that he was charged first. He was charged, then afterwards 5 other charges were slapped on him. this man should be dealt with the full force of the law, to send a signal to say that we will not tolerate violence against anybody in society, especially our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors, our teachers, and the entire society. We condemn violence against these people. Condemn violence against the entire populace. Too much of this. And as I said, we don't have to ask what type of person this is. This man is clearly an abuser. This is not a first time nor a second time act of him. I was told that his neighbors had to go over and to take him off his wife regularly. This man is to be made, an example is to be made of this man. An example is to be made of him, to send a clear signal to society, to the entire populace, that we will no longer tolerate violence against anyone in this society. So I'm asking my fellow Jamaicans, whether you are a student, whether you are an adult, whether you are a senior, whoever you are, I am asking you all to go on, if you can go on site where the protests will take place, and to show your solidarity. Whether you're a student, as I said, whether you are just a normal worker, frontline worker, a normal worker, whether you're a citizen, all citizens this morning, I'm asking you, please, to go out and to support the protests. Wear something white on our streets, on our at work, or wherever you are. Just show some solidarity, show some support to this nurse who was clearly abused, brutally abused by this man. Who people like this, and I'm saying this without no apology, we can do without these type of people, because these type of people make it look very bad on Jamaicans, and especially our men. This man makes it look very bad on men in general. And it's time we all stand up against this, because this is too much. All right? So, my fellow Jamaicans, go out and support the protest if you can. And if you can't, wear something white like myself. God bless you. Until next time.